Dr. Schmidt's relentless advocacy for inclusive science engagement and her leadership in connecting science with society makes her a true trailblazer. Congratulations, Dr. Bonnie Schmidt.
Wow, I get the microphone, I got to talk about policy, but I'm actually just so overwhelmed by the recognition. Thank you to Meredith, thank you to CSPC, and thanks to Kevin for the wonderful opening. I really am deeply moved. And I have notes because Meredith was really clear, you have less than 5 minutes. So, just to give you a bit of background, Let's Talk Science actually started because of the economic recession of the early 90s when research funding was cut quite deeply. And at that point, researchers were becoming quite concerned that the public didn't understand our work. At that point, universities didn't have outreach offices. And so it was really important that we got out and actually let the public know what we were doing. But it's continued for more than 30 years because of the contributions of so many people. People have given their time, their talent, and their treasure to help youth prepare for a future that's underpinned by science, technology, and innovation. We all know STEM education fosters curiosity and questioning skills. It builds confidence, resiliency, and critical thinking. And maybe most importantly, it really catalyzes wonder about the world around us, and it unlocks infinite opportunity. There's now an entire generation influenced by Let's Talk Science volunteers. It's become its own sustaining and powerful network that it never crossed my mind the day that I sent the first letter to high school teachers in London offering them access to Western University. And now, as Kevin said, that original project flourishes today as the national Let's Talk Science outreach program offered by thousands of volunteers every year at 55 universities and colleges. Many of our partners are here at the conference. We've since added many more programs. We work with early childhood to grade 12 and many partnerships with the STNI community to our offerings. Everything is still free, and everything is available in English and French. Last year alone, over 40% of schools across Canada access Let's Talk Science, reaching people in nearly 1,800 communities. It's been an incredible adventure. After 30 years, there's far too many people to draw out. It's been totally a team sport. And I'm so proud of what we've accomplished. We've achieved over 21 million engagements since our start. But 87% of that reach has happened in the last 8 years because of the federal investment in our work and industry partners coming to the table. We've done a lot, but it's clear that there's much more we can do. We need an engaged citizenship and skilled workforce that embraces technology and innovation. And those traits don't magically appear in adulthood. We have to start early, and we need to rethink STEM education overall. There's fewer kids in Canada than there are in the state of California. And every one of them has a right to be fully included, and every one of us has a critical role to play to make sure it happens. So if you haven't or you aren't engaged with Let's Talk Science, let's change that. But innovation policy, as we drafted, it really must include early and consistent investment in talent development. Productivity gains we need will be best achieved by people who have a strong STEM background that starts early. We now start in preschool. Most students are still dropping their STEM courses early in high school, and they're closing many, many doors. Participation rates, for example, in the traditional science courses that are required by universities for entry, they haven't changed much. For example, nationally, less than 15% of students are graduating with grade 12 physics. So that means out of high school, 5 out of 6 high school graduates aren't even eligible to apply for engineering. Very few understand the connection with their science courses and college or the skilled trades. And we haven't achieved gender parity. In the physical sciences, engineering, math, which are the ones that we typically talk about, men still outnumber women, But in life sciences, women outnumber men. And this is all in spite of actually understanding the root causes. So as the minister said, we live in a time of disruption, so let's disrupt. Let's actually break down the barriers between STEM, the arts and humanities, to develop people who will flourish and contribute because they have the know-how that's needed now and in the future. Let's listen to youth. Great examples tonight of young people who are doing amazing things to change the world. They tell us that they want to build safe and healthy communities. They want to tackle climate change, ensure people have access to clean water, food, and healthcare. Their input is guiding us at Let's Talk Science. And others are listening as well, introducing multidisciplinary high school courses like water or health. However, by the senior grades, grade 11 and 12, those courses are back to biology, chemistry, and physics, the ones that I just said people aren't completing. And what's the reason? It's what students need for a university admission. So this is the audience can change that. How could you change post-secondary admission requirements? How could you evolve them to unleash what I promise you would be sustained changes in high school education and drive multidisciplinary learning? These multidisciplinary approaches would improve the diversity of students who are studying science. It would inspire more integration of Western science and Indigenous ways of knowing. It would develop the skills and the know-how that's needed for a sustainable economy. We have an amazing opportunity to introduce far more young people to the wonders of science. We have to continue evolving how we teach it early to make it more inclusive, accessible, and relevant to young people. This is about getting them ready for jobs and responsible citizenship, and it's about building a just and sustainable future. So in close, I am so totally honored to be the inaugural trailblazer for science and society, but we need to keep blazing new trails together to transform kids' lives and make Canada even stronger. Well, thank you. Merci, miigwech.